The message arrived on a Tuesday. It came through every communication device on Earth at the same time. TVs, radios, phones, and computers all showed the same thing. The blue-skinned alien with 4 eyes and no hair. "People of Earth," the alien said in perfect English, "I am Ambassador Krell of the Galactic Council. We have been watching your planet for some time. You have reached a level of technology that qualifies you for contact. The Council invites Earth to join our federation of 137 species." In the White House Situation Room, President Howard Richardson watched with wide eyes. Next to him, military leaders and scientists sat in stunned silence. "Is this real?" the president asked. General Frank Cooper nodded slowly. "Our satellites detected a massive ship entering our solar system 3 hours ago. It's parked behind the moon now." The alien message continued playing. "A delegation from Earth is invited to meet with the Council representatives. Instructions will follow. We look forward to welcoming humanity into galactic society." 2 days later, Captain Lisa Morgan stood in front of the president. At 38, Lisa was the most decorated officer in the United Earth Defense Force. With her short brown hair and steady gaze, she looked calm even though her heart raced. "Captain Morgan, I'm appointing you to lead our first contact team," President Richardson said. "This is the most important mission in human history." Lisa nodded. "I understand, sir. Who will be on my team?" "You'll take Diplomatic Officer Alan Pierce. He's our best negotiator. Also Dr. Samantha Wells, our top xenobiologist, and a security team of 4 soldiers." Lisa reviewed the files that night in her apartment. Alan Pierce was 52, with gray hair and a reputation for staying cool under pressure. Dr. Wells was younger, only 31, but had written 3 books about possible alien biology based only on theory. Now she would see the real thing. The next morning, Lisa met her team at the launch facility in Nevada. A special ship had been prepared, the UES Defiant. It wasn't large, but it was Earth's newest and fastest spacecraft. "Captain Morgan," Alan said, shaking her hand. "Quite an adventure we're going on." "Indeed," Lisa replied. "Let's hope it's a friendly one." Dr. Wells could barely contain her excitement. "Can you believe it? Actual aliens. My whole life's work is about to change." The team boarded the ship and prepared for launch. According to the coordinates provided by the Galactic Council, they would travel to a space station near Alpha Centauri. The journey would take 2 weeks using their fastest engines. During the trip, Lisa studied the Council's message many times. Something bothered her about it. "Ellen," she said one evening as they ate dinner in the ship's small kitchen, "does something seem off about how they talk to us?" Ellen nodded. "I noticed that too. They're polite, but there's something condescending about it, like they're talking to children." "Exactly. They invite us to join, but it doesn't sound optional." Dr. Wells joined them. Many advanced societies throughout human history treated less developed cultures this way. The stronger group acts nice while looking down on the weaker one. Lisa frowned. "Let's be careful. We need to show strength without seeming threatening." On the 14th day, they saw it. An enormous space station shaped like a wheel. It was bigger than anything humans had ever built, with lights glowing along its surface. "UES Defiant," came a voice over their communication system. "This is Galactic Council Station Alpha. Proceed to Docking Bay 17. As they approached, Lisa saw dozens of different ships coming and going from the station. Ships of all shapes and sizes, clearly built by different species. "This is it," Lisa said to her team. "First contact. Everyone remember your training. Be respectful but confident. We represent all of humanity now." The Defiant docked with a gentle thud. Lisa took a deep breath as the airlock door began to open. "Let's make Earth proud," she said, and stepped forward to meet the galaxy. Lisa led her team through the airlock. The air smelled different, clean but with a hint of something like cinnamon. The gravity felt slightly lighter than Earth's. They entered a large, round room with walls that seemed to glow. 3 aliens waited for them. The one in the middle was tall and thin with blue skin that shimmered in the light. This was the same type of alien from the message. The 2 others were different. One short with gray skin and 6 arms, another covered in what looked like red feathers. "Welcome, humans," the blue alien said. "I am High Counselor Vexthar of the Xorian Empire, senior representative of the Galactic Council." Lisa stepped forward. "I am Captain Lisa Morgan of Earth. This is Diplomatic Officer Alan Pierce and Dr. Samantha Wells." Vexthar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Follow me to the meeting chamber. The council is waiting." They walked down a long hallway. Lisa noticed other aliens watching them with curiosity. Some whispered to each other. A few seemed to laugh. The meeting chamber was huge, with seats arranged in rising circles like a theater. Different types of aliens filled most seats. In the center was a round table with 7 empty chairs. "Please sit," Vexthar said, pointing to one chair. The other 6 were filled by aliens of different species. Lisa sat down while Alan and Samantha stood behind her. "The Council welcomes Earth," Vexthar began. "We have observed your planet's development for centuries. You have reached a technological level that qualifies you for membership in our Federation." "Thank you," Lisa said. "Earth is honored to make contact with other intelligent life." A green alien with 3 eyes leaned forward. "Let us not waste time. Humans should understand how the Council works. We maintain peace and order in the galaxy. We share technology and protect member worlds from threats. In return, members must contribute." Alan stepped forward slightly. "What kind of contribution does the Council expect?" Vexthar smiled, showing pointed teeth. "Every member world pays tribute. This is the way it has been for 10,000 years." "Tribute?" Lisa asked. "A small price for our protection," Vexthar said. 5% of your planet's natural resources annually, mining rights to your moon, and any unclaimed asteroids in your system, and military service when requested." Lisa kept her face calm even as her stomach tightened. "That seems like a significant commitment." "It is fair," the red-feathered alien said sharply. "All members pay the same. We also require a demonstration of your commitment within 1 Earth month," Vexthar added. "Your first tribute payment will show your willingness to be proper members of galactic society." Lisa glanced at Alan, who gave her a tiny nod. "We will need to discuss this with our leaders," she said. "Of course," Vexthar said. "You have 1 day to rest here. Study our history. Learn about the benefits of membership. Tomorrow you will return to Earth with our formal demands." After the meeting, the humans were shown to private rooms. Once alone, they gathered in Lisa's room. "This isn't a welcome," Alan said quietly. "It's an ultimatum." Dr. Wells nodded. 5% of Earth's resources would cripple our economy. And they want mining rights too. "I don't like this," Lisa said. "Did you notice how they called it tribute, not trade? They're not offering equal partnership." Alan paced the room. "We need to learn more before we go back. I'll try to speak with other species here, see what their experience has been." "Good idea," Lisa said. "Samantha, see what you can learn about their biology and technology. Maybe we can find advantages they don't know about." That night, Lisa couldn't sleep. She looked out her window at the endless stars. Earth seemed very small and far away. The next morning, a Xorian official handed them a data tablet. "This contains our formal request for tribute. Your leaders have 1 Earth month to prepare the first payment." On the journey home, Lisa studied the tablet. The demands were even worse than Vexthar had said. The Council wanted specific metals, water, and biological samples. They also wanted 50 humans to serve on Council ships. "We need to warn Earth," Lisa told her team. "This isn't a partnership. It's the beginning of something much worse." When the UES Defiant landed back on Earth, the president was waiting. He took Lisa and her team directly to an underground meeting room beneath the White House. Leaders from around the world joined by secure video call. "Captain Morgan, please tell us everything," President Richardson said. Lisa explained the council's demands, while Alan displayed the data from the tablet on a large screen. The room grew quiet as the details became clear. "This is not a request to join as equals," Lisa finished. "It's a demand for submission." Defense Secretary William Grant stood up. "We have no choice but to comply. You saw their station, their ships. If they decide to attack Earth, we couldn't stop them." "Secretary Grant has a point," the president said. "We're outmatched technologically." Dr. Olivia Martinez, who had been quiet until now, raised her hand. She was the head of Earth's Advanced Physics Division, with short gray hair and sharp eyes. "I'm not sure we're as outmatched as they think," she said. "From Captain Morgan's report, the Council seems overconfident. They've dealt with new species the same way for thousands of years. They don't expect resistance." "What are you suggesting?" asked the president. "We appear to comply while secretly preparing defenses. The Council hasn't shared any technology with us yet. They don't know what we might have developed on our own." Lisa nodded. "Dr. Martinez is right. The Council treats newer species as primitive. This could be our advantage." The room broke into heated discussion. Some leaders wanted to fight immediately. Others wanted to surrender completely. Most were somewhere in between. Finally, President Richardson raised his hand for silence. "We will appear to comply with their demands, but we will also prepare. Captain Morgan, you will lead a team to deliver our first tribute. But the tribute will not be exactly what they expect." The president turned to Dr. Martinez. "I want you to work with our best engineers. Develop weapons and defenses that the Council might not anticipate." Dr. Martinez smiled. "I've been working on several projects that might surprise them." Alan Pierce spoke up. "I've been analyzing their communication style. I believe I can develop a diplomatic strategy that will buy us time." "Good," the president said. "And Dr. Wells, your expertise in alien biology might help us understand their weaknesses." Dr. Wells nodded. "I noticed several interesting things about the Xorians. Their eyes are sensitive to certain light frequencies, and their hearing seems limited to a narrow range." For the next 3 weeks, Earth prepared. On the surface, countries worked together to gather resources for the tribute. Mining operations increased. Official statements talked about the benefits of joining the Galactic Council. But underground and in secret facilities, a different kind of preparation happened. Dr. Martinez worked day and night with engineers from around the world. Military forces trained for new kinds of warfare. Scientists studied every bit of data from the Council station. 2 days before the deadline, Lisa visited Dr. Martinez's lab. "How is it going?" she asked. Dr. Martinez looked tired but excited. "Better than expected. We've modified some of our satellite defense systems based on what you observed of their ships. And we've developed these." She held up what looked like ordinary metal containers. "What are they?" Lisa asked. "They look like simple storage units for the tribute materials, but they contain advanced surveillance technology. Once inside their station, they'll give us eyes and ears in the Council's most private spaces." Lisa smiled for the first time in weeks. "Will they detect them?" "I don't think so. We've designed them to mimic their own technology. As far as they can tell, these are just containers of valuable minerals." The night before the tribute ship was set to leave, President Richardson called Lisa to his office. "Captain, I'm trusting you with Earth's future. Deliver the tribute, observe everything you can, and come back safely. We'll be getting ready while you're gone." Lisa stood straight. "Yes, sir. We won't let Earth down." As she left the White House, she looked up at the stars. Somewhere up there, the Council waited, expecting submission. They were about to learn that humans didn't surrender easily. The UES Defiant returned to the Council station carrying Earth's tribute. 5 large ships followed, each filled with containers of rare metals, water, and other resources. On the outside, everything looked exactly as the Council had demanded. Lisa led the same team as before, but with one new member. Lieutenant Jack Simmons was an intelligence officer with a talent for computers and an innocent face that made people underestimate him. Vexthar met them at the docking bay. His blue skin seemed to shine more brightly than before. He looked at the ships with all four of his eyes. "You have brought the tribute on time. Good. The Council is pleased. Earth honors its commitments," Lisa said, keeping her voice respectful, even though it made her angry to say these words. Vexthar walked around one of the containers. "These will be inspected, of course." "Of course," Lisa replied. "We hope the quality meets your standards." While Council workers began unloading the ships, Lisa and her team were shown to their quarters. This time, they were given better rooms than before. The quarters had windows looking out at the stars and more comfortable furniture. "They're treating us better now that we've shown obedience," Alan said quietly once they were alone. "Don't get used to it," Lisa replied. "Jack, can you do what we discussed?" Jack nodded. He was already setting up a small device that looked like a normal computer. "Give me 3 hours. I'll need someone to watch the door." "I'll do that," Dr. Wells said. "They'll expect me to be curious about everything anyway." Jack got to work while the others created a distraction. Alan asked for a tour of the station's cultural center. Lisa requested information about other member species. Dr. Wells asked endless questions about alien biology to anyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Jack slipped into the station's computer network through a maintenance access point. Dr. Martinez had given him special tools that could connect with the alien technology. He worked quickly, copying data and planting the tiny surveillance devices in the station's systems. 3 hours later, they all met back in Lisa's room. "Did you find anything?" Lisa asked. Jack's normally cheerful face was serious. "Yes, and it's worse than we thought. I accessed their records on new member species. They say one thing, but the reality is very different." He showed them images on his device, planets that had been stripped of resources far beyond the promised 5%. Species forced to send thousands of their people as workers, not just military service. Some planets were now almost empty, their populations scattered across the galaxy as cheap labor. "That's terrible," Dr. Wells whispered. "It gets worse," Jack said. "The Council has been around for thousands of years, but it's been declining for the last few centuries. The original members keep demanding more resources from newer members to maintain their power and lifestyle." Lisa frowned. "So they're not expanding because they want to share galactic culture?" "No," Jack said. "They're expanding because they're desperate. They need new resources to exploit." Ellen studied the data. According to this, Earth would be reduced to a mining colony within 20 years. Most humans would be relocated as workers. "We can't let that happen," Lisa said. Just then, there was a soft knock at the door. Everyone froze. Jack quickly hid his device. Lisa opened the door. Outside stood a small alien with green skin and large eyes. It looked around nervously. "I am Zim of the Neverons," it whispered. "I heard you asking questions about new members. I must speak with you." Lisa hesitated, then let the alien in. Zim looked at each human with those large eyes. "Your species is new to the Council. Mine joined 50 years ago. We were promised the same things you were." Zim pulled back a sleeve to show a metal band around its wrist. "Now we are little more than slaves. Most of my people work in mines on distant moons." "Why are you telling us this?" Alan asked. "Because I saw hope in your eyes. No new species has questioned the Council in centuries. Perhaps humans are different." Lisa looked at her team, then back at Zim. "We are different, and we're not planning to become slaves." Zim seemed to stand taller. "Then perhaps my people will not be slaves forever either." When the alien left, Lisa turned to her team. "We need to get this information back to Earth immediately, and we need to learn more about these other subjugated species. They might become our allies." Jack nodded. "The Council thinks they're setting a trap for us. But really," Lisa said, "they've just given us the key to their downfall." Back on Earth, President Richardson met with Lisa's team in the same underground room. Military leaders, scientists, and government officials listened as Jack showed them what he had found. The Council has done this 17 times in the last century, Jack explained. Each new species follows the same pattern. First, they pay the tribute. Then the demands increase. Within 10 years, the planet is stripped of resources. Within 20, most of the population is relocated. And no one has successfully resisted, asked the president. 3 species tried, Jack said. The Council destroyed their major cities from orbit. After that, they surrendered. Dr. Martinez stood up. But none of those species had time to prepare like we do. And none of them had our particular advantages. She motioned to 2 people sitting quietly in the corner. They were engineers Kelly Rodriguez and Ben Harper from the Advanced Technology Division. Kelly and Ben have been analyzing the data from the surveillance devices we planted, Dr. Martinez said. Tell them what you found. Kelly stepped forward. She was younger than most people in the room, with dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. The Council's technology is advanced, but it's also stagnant. They haven't developed anything truly new in over 500 years. They just keep using the same systems. Ben nodded. Their weapons are powerful but predictable. They rely on overwhelming force, not innovation. And they have weaknesses we can exploit. Lisa looked at them. What kind of weaknesses? Their shields operate on specific frequencies, Kelly explained. If we target those exact frequencies, we can disrupt them using much less power than a direct assault. And their ship designs prioritize comfort over defense, Ben added. Many of their critical systems are exposed because they never expected anyone to get close enough to target them. The president leaned forward. So you're saying we can fight back? More than that, Dr. Martinez said. We might be able to win. Over the next month, Earth prepared. Factories that had been making cars now made spacecraft parts. Scientists worked around the clock developing new weapons based on the Council's weaknesses. Military forces trained for space combat. All of this happened in secret. On the surface, Earth continued to gather resources for the next tribute payment. News reports talked about the benefits of Council membership. When Council observers visited, they were shown exactly what they expected to see. A planet preparing to submit. One morning, Lisa visited a hidden facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Inside, engineers were finishing work on a fleet of small, fast ships, unlike anything Earth had built before. These don't look like our regular military vessels, Lisa said to Kelly, who was supervising the work. That's the point, Kelly replied. The Council expects us to either surrender or build big, obvious warships like theirs. These are different, faster, more maneuverable, and equipped with the frequency-targeting weapons we developed. How many do we have? 200 now. 500 by the end of the month. Lisa smiled. The Council won't know what hit them. Meanwhile, Jack had been working with other intelligence officers to establish secure communication with the subjugated species they had identified. Chief Engineer Paul Davidson had developed an encrypted system that used the Council's own communication network, but couldn't be detected by them. We've made contact with the Neverans, Taurians, and 4 other species, Jack told Lisa. They all want to help. They're tired of being slaves. Can we trust them? Lisa asked. I believe so. They've already started providing us with inside information about Council ship movements and security protocols. When the time came to deliver the second tribute, the Council was surprised when Earth requested a formal ceremony. High Counselor Vexthar agreed, pleased by what he saw as humans embracing their new role. Lisa led the delegation again. This time, she brought a larger team, including Kelly and Ben disguised as tribute supervisors. Dr. Martinez had prepared special containers that looked like they were filled with valuable minerals. In reality, they contained advanced surveillance equipment that would penetrate even deeper into Council systems. As Lisa presented the tribute to Vexthar, she smiled politely. Earth is learning its place in the galaxy. Vexthar's 4 eyes blinked with satisfaction. You are adapting well. But the Council has decided that your next tribute must be doubled. 10%, not 5. Lisa kept her smile fixed in place, even as her suspicions were confirmed. Of course, High Counselor. Earth exists to serve the Galactic Council. What Vexthar couldn't see was the determination in her eyes, or the small signal she gave to her team. Phase 2 of Earth's plan had just begun. 3 months after the second tribute, the Council sent inspectors to Earth. They wanted to make sure humans were properly preparing the increased tribute payment. 5 Saurian officials arrived in a sleek ship that landed outside the United Nations building in New York. Earth's leaders greeted them with fake smiles and respectful bows. The inspectors were shown mines working at full capacity, factories producing materials for the Council, and training centers where young people were supposedly learning to serve on Council ships. What the inspectors didn't see was what happened behind these carefully designed facades. The mines had hidden sections where weapons were being built. The factories produced parts for Earth's growing fleet of ships. The training centers taught combat tactics against Council forces. Intelligence Director Susan Clark orchestrated this massive deception. She was a quiet woman with gray hair and eyes that missed nothing. For weeks, she had planned every detail of the inspector's visit. Show them exactly what they expect to see, she had told everyone involved. Nothing more, nothing less. On the 3rd day of their visit, the lead inspector, a Saurian named Drex, requested a private meeting with President Richardson. "Your cooperation is commendable," Drex said. "Most new species resist the increased tribute at first." The president smiled politely. "Earth understands its place in the galactic order." Drex looked pleased. "Good. Then you will not object when Council bases are established on your moon. The paperwork is already prepared." President Richardson kept his expression neutral, but his hands tightened under the table. "When would this happen?" "Construction ships will arrive within 1 Earth month. We will require 5,000 human workers to assist." After the meeting, the president called an emergency session with his advisors. Lisa was there, along with Dr. Martinez, Jack, and the other members of the defense team. "They want bases on the moon now," the president said. "This is happening faster than we expected." Lisa looked at Jack. "What does this mean based on the patterns you've seen?" Jack's face was grim. "It's the next step in their standard process. They establish a military presence close to the planet. Once that's in place, they stop pretending and start taking whatever they want." "How ready are we?" the president asked Dr. Martinez. "Our fleet is at 70% of planned capacity. The shield disruptors work in tests, but we haven't tried them against actual Council ships yet. We need more time." Lisa stood up. "We can stall them. Say yes to the moon bases, but create delays in providing workers. Claim technical problems with transportation." "That might buy us a few weeks," the president agreed. Meanwhile, the alliance with other subjugated species was growing stronger. Paul Dagodson's secure communication system allowed them to coordinate plans across dozens of worlds. The Neverans provided information about Council ship movements. The Taurians, who worked as mechanics on Council vessels, secretly disabled safety systems. Other species planted intelligence-gathering devices. One evening, Lisa met with representatives from these species in a secure virtual meeting using Paul's system. "The Council is planning to establish bases on our moon," she told them. "We believe they'll move against us soon after." Zim, the Neveran who had first approached Lisa, spoke up. "They are growing suspicious of several worlds. Not just Earth. Their leadership fears some kind of resistance." A Taurian named Krell added, "Many of our people have been moved to military ships. They are preparing for something." "Then we need to accelerate our plans," Lisa said. "Is everyone ready to move when the signal comes?" All the representatives agreed. Each species had formed its own resistance movement, waiting for the right moment to strike. Back on Earth, preparations moved into their final phase. The hidden fleet was now complete. 700 small, fast ships designed to exploit Council weaknesses. Thousands of soldiers trained in secret for space combat. Dr. Martinez's team had developed new shield technology based on their research of Council weapons. In the White House, President Richardson looked at the latest intelligence reports. The Council was getting ready to move against Earth sooner than expected. They had noticed small inconsistencies in Earth's behavior, though they didn't yet suspect the full extent of the resistance. "We're running out of time," he told Lisa. "How much longer do you need?" Lisa took a deep breath. 2 weeks. "Give us 2 weeks, and we'll be ready." The president nodded. 2 weeks it is. After that, Earth shows the Council that humans don't make good slaves. The 2 weeks passed quickly. Earth's preparations were barely complete when an urgent message came from one of their Neveran allies. The Council had discovered part of the resistance network. They didn't know about Earth's role yet, but they were taking action against several worlds that had been slow to provide tribute. President Richardson called his advisors together. The time for waiting was over. "The Council has demanded that we turn over control of all Earth military assets immediately," he told them. "They claim it's for our protection against rebel elements in the galaxy. They've also moved up the timeline for the moon bases. They'll arrive in 3 days." "What do we do?" asked Secretary Grant. The president looked around the room, then fixed his gaze on Lisa. "Captain Morgan, is it time?" Lisa nodded. "Yes, sir. We're as ready as we'll ever be." "Then send our response." An hour later, Lisa stood in front of a camera. Her message would be sent directly to the Galactic Council. She wore her formal uniform and spoke clearly and calmly. "High Counselor Vexthar, members of the Galactic Council, I am Captain Lisa Morgan of Earth. I am authorized to inform you that Earth formally withdraws from the Galactic Council, effective immediately. We will not provide tribute. We will not allow bases on our moon. We will not surrender our military assets." She paused, then continued. "Earth entered this relationship in good faith. We discovered that the Council did not. We have seen how you exploit new members and reduce worlds to slave colonies. Humanity will not accept this fate." When the message reached the Council station, the reaction was swift. Vexthar called an emergency meeting of the senior Council members. "The humans are rejecting our authority," he told them. "This cannot be allowed to stand. Other worlds will watch how we respond." A Xorian military commander named Zulgar stepped forward. "Let me take a disciplinary fleet to Earth. One demonstration of our power, and they will submit." Vexthar nodded. "Approved. Take 20 battle cruisers. Destroy one major city as a warning. If they still resist, destroy another." Zulgar seemed disappointed. "Only 20 ships. I would prefer to take our full battle group." "Don't waste resources," Vexthar said. "These are primitives who have barely achieved spaceflight. 20 ships is more than enough." On Earth, all military forces moved to high alert. The secret fleet launched from hidden bases around the planet. Dr. Martinez's new shield technology was activated, creating an invisible barrier around Earth that the Council's sensors couldn't detect. President Richardson addressed the world from the Oval Office. "Citizens of Earth, today we face the greatest challenge in human history. The Galactic Council is sending warships to force our compliance with their demands. They expect us to surrender or be destroyed." He smiled slightly. "They are about to be very surprised." Lisa took command of Earth's defense from a hidden command center deep underground. She had General Frank Cooper beside her, coordinating the military response. "All units in position," General Cooper reported. "Shield system is active. The allied species are standing by." "Send the signal," Lisa ordered. A coded message flashed across the galaxy. On 17 different worlds, resistance groups sprang into action. Weapons that had been hidden for years were deployed. Council officials were captured or driven off-planet. Ships that had been sabotaged by Taurian mechanics suddenly lost power. In space, Council monitoring stations went dark one by one. Communication networks were flooded with false information. The carefully ordered galaxy that the Council had ruled for thousands of years descended into confusion. 5 days later, the Council fleet arrived at Earth. Commander Zolgar stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking at the blue planet on his view screen. "Primitive world," he said to his officers. "Prepare the main weapons. Target their largest city as a demonstration." His weapons officer worked the controls, then looked up in confusion. "Sir, I'm detecting something strange. There are objects moving toward us at high speed." Zulgar frowned. "What objects? Earth doesn't have ships capable of." He never finished his sentence. The bridge rocked as something hit the flagship's shields. "We're under attack," the officer shouted. Hundreds of small vessels, coming from all directions. Zulgar couldn't believe it. Impossible. These primitives couldn't possibly. The ship shook again, harder this time. Warning lights flashed across the control panels. "Sir," the officer said, voice shaking, "they're targeting our shield frequencies." "How could they know our shield frequencies?" Zulgar had no answer. As his screen filled with Earth's attack fleet, he finally understood that the Council had made a terrible mistake. The battle above Earth lasted only 3 hours. The Council ships were bigger and more powerful, but Earth's smaller ships were faster and more maneuverable. The Council commanders had never faced an enemy who knew their weaknesses so well. On the Defiant, now upgraded with new weapons, Lisa watched the battle unfold on her screens. 8 of the 20 Council ships had already been disabled. The others were trying to regroup, but Earth's fleet kept them separated and confused. "Target their power systems," she ordered. "Remember your training." Earth ships darted in and out, hitting specific points on the Council vessels, where Kelly and Ben had identified vulnerabilities. The Council ship's shields flickered and failed under the precisely targeted attacks. On his damaged flagship, Commander Zolgar was shouting orders that no one could follow. Half his systems were offline. His shield generators were failing. "Call for reinforcements," he yelled. "We need the full battle group." His communication officer looked up with fear in his eyes. "Sir, I can't reach the Council. All channels are being jammed." "Impossible." These primitives couldn't. The ship rocked again as another hit landed. Emergency alarms blared throughout the vessel. "Sir," his second-in-command said quietly, "we should consider retreat." Zulgar stared at him in shock. The Council fleet had never retreated from a primitive world. Never in 10,000 years. But he could see on his remaining screens that 12 of his ships were now completely disabled. "Order all remaining vessels to fall back," he finally said. "We will return with the full might of the Council." But as the surviving Council ships tried to retreat, they found themselves trapped. Earth's fleet had positioned itself to cut off their escape routes, and now new ships were arriving. Vessels from the Neverans, the Taurians, and other formerly subjugated species. This was a coordinated attack, Zolgar realized too late. A galaxy-wide uprising. On Earth, people watched the battle on their screens. When the last Council ship surrendered, cheers erupted around the world. President Richardson addressed the planet again. "Today, humanity has defended its freedom. But this is just the beginning. The Council will send more ships." He didn't know that across the galaxy, the Council was facing rebellions on dozens of worlds. Their carefully maintained system of control was collapsing. Their military was stretched too thin, trying to fight on too many fronts at once. On the Council station, High Counselor Vexthar received terrible news hour after hour. Tribute worlds in open revolt. Council bases under attack. Communication networks compromised. And most shocking of all, the complete defeat of Zolgar's fleet by the humans. "How is this possible?" he demanded of his advisors. "They are primitives. They've barely left their own planet." No one had an answer for him. None of them understood that their own arrogance had been their downfall. They had underestimated the humans. They had never imagined that a new species would investigate them so thoroughly or unite their victims against them. 2 weeks after the battle at Earth, a new fleet arrived at the Council station. It was led by the Defiant, with ships from 17 formerly subjugated species flying alongside it. They faced no resistance. The Council's main defense fleet had been scattered across the galaxy, trying to put down rebellions on too many worlds. Lisa led a team onto the station. They walked straight to the Council chamber, where Vexthar and the other leaders waited. For the first time, the High Counselor looked afraid. "You cannot do this," he said. "The Council has ruled for 10,000 years. "That time is over," Lisa replied. "Your rule was based on exploitation and fear. We're here to build something better." In the days that followed, representatives from all worlds in the galaxy, both former Council members and subjugated planets, met to form a new alliance, one based on equality and mutual benefit, not tribute and submission. When they asked who should lead this new galactic alliance, many voices suggested Earth. Lisa was surprised when she was nominated to be Earth's representative. "Why me?" she asked President Richardson. "Because you saw the truth from the beginning," he said, "and you never gave up." 1 year later, Lisa stood in the new Alliance chamber, once the Council's meeting room. Vexthar, now a prisoner awaiting trial, was brought before her. "How did you do it?" he asked. "How did primitives defeat us?" Lisa smiled. "That was your first mistake, thinking we were primitive just because we were new. Humans don't like being told to submit. We'd rather work together as equals. That's something your Council never understood." As Vexthar was led away, Lisa looked around at the representatives from hundreds of worlds, all working together in true partnership. The stars belonged to all of them now.